there's this feeling that's starting to creep in for a lot of us, right? A quiet, humming anxiety in the background of our lives. This sense that the ground is shifting right under our feet. You see the headlines about jobs just vanishing, about algorithms making these huge decisions that affect every part of our lives. A future that feels like it's coming at us way too fast. We are standing on the edge of a new world, an age of machines that can think, and it's a little terrifying. But what if the key to surviving all of this, to navigating this new world, wasn't some new piece of tech? What if the answer was actually 2,000 years old? What if the tools we desperately need to master our own minds and keep our inner peace were figured out centuries ago, in the chaotic markets of ancient Athens and the halls of Roman power? Today, we're going to explore how the ancient wisdom of Stoicism might just be the most powerful, practical, and human framework for thriving in the age of AI. So, to really get how an ancient philosophy can be our guide here, you have to understand that the challenge of AI is basically a war being fought on two separate fronts. At the exact same time, it's an external, societal fight and an internal, very personal one. The first front is the big picture, the massive stage of civilization. This is the challenge of shaping the machine. How do we, as a society, make sure that these incredibly powerful new intelligences are built and used ethically? How do we build AI that actually helps humanity, that holds up our best values, and doesn't accidentally become a supercharged engine for our worst biases? This seems like an engineering problem, but it's not. It's a philosophy problem. It's about the moral compass we are literally embedding into the code that will run our world. And the Stoics, who were obsessed with ethics, justice, and what makes a good society, they left behind a blueprint, not just for a good life, but for a good world. Then there's the second front. This one is closer to home. It's the intimate, quiet battle inside your own mind. This is the challenge of mastering ourselves. As the world outside changes faster than we can keep up, how do you keep it together? How do you deal with the anxiety of your job maybe not existing in 5 years? The constant distraction of AI-generated content, the kind of scary questions that pop up when a machine can suddenly create art or write poetry. This is a fight for your focus, your resilience, your peace of mind. And for this fight, Stoicism isn't just some theory, it's a practical toolkit. It's a set of mental exercises designed to build what they called an unshakable inner citadel. To get through the next few decades, we have to fight on both fronts at once. We have to be the wise architects of our new tech world and the calm masters of our inner world. Stoicism gives us the wisdom for both. So let's start with the first front, the massive, terrifying, but absolutely essential task of building a virtuous machine. When you hear people talk about AI ethics today, it's usually about rules. What should we program an AI not to do? How do we get the least bad outcome? And those are good questions, but the Stoics would want us to ask something much, much deeper. They'd ask, how can we design an AI to act from a place of virtue? See the difference. It's not just about avoiding bad things. It's about building good character into the machine itself. And this leads to 4 kind of radical principles for how we should be building AI. First is the primacy of virtue. For the Stoics, everything came down to 4 cardinal virtues: wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These were the absolute foundation of a good life. If we apply that to AI, It means we stop focusing only on outcomes or rules and start focusing on character. For example, an AI that just looks at outcomes might decide that a harmful action is okay if it leads to a net positive. A rule-based AI might follow its programming to the letter, even if it leads to a ridiculous or deeply unfair result in a situation it wasn't trained for. But an AI built on virtue ethics would be designed to prioritize fairness, to try and understand the full context, and to act with self. It's about programming AI, not just to be a calculator, but to model what integrity looks like. Second, and this comes straight from the first, is justice and fairness by design. The Stoics had this wild idea for their time, the cosmopolis. They believed we are all citizens of a single global community. This worldview demands that we treat everyone with fairness and respect. When you apply this to AI, it's a powerful weapon against one of the biggest dangers we're facing: bias. We've already seen AI systems used in hiring and banking that just copy and paste our worst historical biases against entire groups of people. A Stoic approach would demand that we design these systems for fairness from day one. It would mean obsessively testing for bias, making sure the data we feed the machine represents everyone, and building systems that treat humans with respect, not as data points to be mined for profit. Third, we have wisdom through transparency. The Stoic virtue of wisdom is about seeing the world clearly and making good judgments based on reason. In the AI world, this lines up perfectly with the demand for transparency. We can't have a wise and just society if the machines making life-altering decisions are black boxes that nobody can understand. A Stoic-inspired AI would have to be able to explain its reasoning in a way that a human can understand. This isn't just a cool technical feature, it's an ethical deal-breaker. It's the foundation of trust. If we're going to let machines make decisions for us, we need to have the wisdom to check their work. Finally, there's the crucial virtue of temperance and acknowledging limits. Stoicism is a philosophy grounded in reality. It's about understanding what you can control and, more importantly, what you can't. This idea of temperance, or self-restraint, is something the overhyped world of AI desperately needs. It tells us to approach AI with a bit of humility, to recognize its limits and its potential to cause real harm. An AI built with temperance would have clear boundaries. It would have built-in checks and balances and easy ways for humans to step in and take over. It pushes back against the fantasy of some godlike AI that will solve all our problems, and instead gives us a more mature vision of AI as a powerful but limited tool that must always answer to human values. Building AI on this foundation is our job as a society. But while we're working on that huge project, the world keeps changing, and AI's influence on our daily lives grows. And that brings us to the second, much more personal front. Even if we manage to build perfectly ethical AI, its existence alone is going to keep sending shockwaves through our personal lives. Jobs will change, entire industries will appear and disappear, and the way we live every day is going to feel different. Trying to fight this, to resist this change, the Stoics would say, that's just insane. A total waste of your time, energy, and attention. The Stoic way isn't to fight the storm. It's to build a ship that is so solid it can handle any sea. Here are the 5 tools in the toolkit for building that ship. The first and most important tool is the dichotomy of control, your true domain. The philosopher Epictetus laid it out so simply. Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us. The relentless advance of AI, the global economy, what other people or companies do with this tech, none of that is up to you. Freaking out about it is like screaming at the rain to stop. So what is up to you? Your response, your choice to learn a new skill, your decision to change your career, the principles you live by, how you treat people. When you're facing down this massive technological wave, the dichotomy of control isn't about giving up. It's about taking your power back. It forces you to stop wasting energy on the ocean of things you can't change and focus it on the one thing you can, the rudder of your own choices. This is the ultimate cure for anxiety. The second tool is amor fati, loving your fate. Okay, this one is one of the toughest but most freeing Stoic ideas. It means more than just accepting what happens. It means loving it. It means you embrace whatever comes your way, not because you wanted it, but because it is. So, when you hear that a new AI can now do a big part of your job, the normal reaction is panic. The path of amor fati is to see this not as a disaster, but as a new chapter that fate has just written for you. The death of your old job is now an opportunity for a rebirth, a reason to grow in a way you never would have otherwise. This mindset literally turns every obstacle into a runway. It reframes the chaos of AI from a threat to be scared of into a natural force you can use for your own evolution. Third, you have to build the inner citadel and emotional resilience. The Stoics believed you could build a fortress inside your mind, a place of peace that no external event, no matter how crazy, could ever break into. In the age of AI, our minds are going to be under constant attack. You'll see news about incredible breakthroughs and terrifying disruptions, sometimes on the same day. Social media algorithms run by AI are literally designed to make you feel strong emotions. Building your inner citadel means practicing detachment. It means you watch these things happen without letting the emotional roller coaster take you with it. You put a little space between the event and your reaction. This ensures your well-being isn't tied to the stock market or the latest tech news, but to the solid foundation of your own rational mind. Fourth is the idea of continuous improvement as a way of life. Stoicism is not a sitanurabut philosophy. It's a call to constantly get better, to become a wiser, more virtuous version of yourself every single day. In a world being flipped upside down by AI, this has a very real-world application: lifelong learning. The idea that you learn one skill and do it for 50 years, that's over. To stay relevant and to actually thrive, you have to adopt a mindset of constant self-improvement. You have to stay curious, flexible, and ready to learn. This isn't just about keeping your job. It's about the Stoic ideal of striving to be your best self. In the age of AI, the most valuable skill you can have is the ability to learn and adapt. Finally, we have the fifth tool, the mindful use of technology. A Stoic would look at AI and see a tool, just like a hammer or a shovel. A tool can be used with skill to create amazing things, or it can be used clumsily and become a source of distraction and dependency. The choice is ours. This means you have to engage with AI intentionally. Are you using AI to help you create something, to automate boring tasks so you can do more important work, to learn something new? Or are you just passively scrolling through an endless feed of AI-generated content that leaves you feeling empty? A modern Stoic uses tech with a purpose. They are the master of the tool, not the other way around. They set boundaries and make sure technology is serving their values, not creating them. Okay, so we have these two frameworks, one for building better tech and one for building a better you. But what does this actually look like day to day? Let's just imagine a day in the life of someone trying to live like this in our AI world. Our Stoic wakes up, grabs their coffee, and sees a headline. A new AI model just dropped that can do a key part of their job better than any human. The old reaction, a jolt of fear, a spike of anxiety. I'm going to be replaced. But our Stoic pauses. They apply the dichotomy of control. They can't uninvent the AI. They can't stop competitors from using it. Worrying is useless. What can they control? Their reaction. They see the news not as a threat, but just as new information. Their focus immediately flips to what's in their power. Okay, how can I use this? How can this new thing in my hands make me even better at what I do? The anxiety fades, and it's replaced by a new item on their to-do list. Spend an hour this week playing with that new AI model. Later at work, they're using an AI assistant to analyze some data. The AI suggests a strategy that looks super efficient, but it feels a little shady, like it might put a certain group of customers at a disadvantage. Here, our Stoic draws on justice and fairness. They don't just blindly obey the machine. They treat the AI like a junior advisor, not a god. They question the output, check the data for bias, and end up choosing a path that aligns with their duty to be fair to everyone, even if it's a little slower. They are being the human layer of wisdom. As the day winds down, they see all the posts on social media, cranked up by algorithms, about the AI apocalypse and the end of creativity. It would be so easy to get sucked into that vortex of despair. Instead, they work on their inner citadel. They see the information, they acknowledge it, but they refuse to let it hijack their emotions. They know their peace of mind comes from their own choices, not the collective panic of the internet. They just disconnect. In the evening, instead of mindlessly scrolling through an infinite feed of AI-generated art, they practice the mindful use of technology. Maybe they use an AI to help them learn a new language, or to summarize a dense scientific paper, using it as a tool for their own continuous improvement. But then they put it away. They spend time reflecting, maybe journaling, a classic Stoic practice. They review their day, not with judgment, but with curiosity. How did they react? Did they act in line with their values? Where could they be better? They accept the entire day, the good and the bad, with amor fati. It was the day it was, and it gave them the lessons they needed. They go to sleep not with anxiety about the future, but with a calm readiness to face whatever comes next. This is the power of Stoicism in the age of AI. It doesn't offer some magic trick to make the challenges disappear. It offers something way more valuable, a compass and an anchor. We've seen that AI hits us with this profound, two-sided challenge. There's the external, ethical job of building these machines with wisdom and justice. And at the exact same time, there's the internal, personal job of keeping ourselves sane and resilient in a world of constant, high-speed change. Stoicism offers a single, unified solution to both. It gives us the ethical blueprint of virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, temperance to guide the people building the future. And it gives us the personal toolkit of resilience, the dichotomy of control, amor fati, and the inner citadel to strengthen the heart of every person living in it. So, at the end of the day, This isn't a story about humans versus machines. It's a story about what kind of humans we're going to be with these machines. The biggest challenge from AI might not be technological at all. It might be a challenge to our own humanity. It's a call to action, an invitation to become more intentional, more virtuous, and more resilient than we've ever had to be. Artificial intelligence will be the most powerful tool humanity has ever created. Stoicism is the user manual. If this whole idea of mixing ancient philosophy with future tech resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into the ideas that are shaping our future. What's the one Stoic idea you could see yourself using this week to deal with technology? Or what's the biggest ethical question about AI that you think Stoicism could help us solve? Let me know below.